Hello. Welcome back to my channel. My name's Yaneli, and today I'm going to be talking about Holo Taco's Pop of Holo collection. Now, as a full disclaimer and disclosure, Holo Taco did initially reach out to me to create a swatch reel for their Instagram page, meaning I was paid by Holo Taco for that swatch reel. This video, the swatch and review of this collection, has no correlation with the compensation that I got from Holo Taco for that swatch reel. I'm doing this video out of my own free will because I want to showcase this collection off to you all as well. Under normal circumstances, this collection would just be gifted PR. But again, I want to be transparent that I did get paid initially to create that swatch reel for their Instagram page. Some info on this collection is that it consists of 5 polishes, 3 of which are linears, one's a metallic, and we have a topper in the mix as well. This collection is also not limited edition, it is here to stay, so definitely shop at your leisure. And with all of my other videos, all thoughts and opinions stay my own, comparisons near the end, and I have some thoughts near the end as well. So without further ado, let's get into swatches. Up first we have Blue Fizz Taco, and this is a light blue iridescent hex glitter topper in a clear base with micro scatter holo going in the mix. Now these hex glitters, they kind of have some color range to them. So we have some really cyany blue ones and then some more sky blue. And then I don't know if it's just the coating of the iridescence that kind of came through on the first or second coat here. That's kind of in the top middle of my thumb. It kind of looks more transparent. Overall formulation, it is a very sparse topper. I kind of had to fish for the glitters. What I'm showcasing here is me swirling the brush around in the bottle and then trying to get the most glitters on my brush. I do have to kind of like shush them up around to get them to spread out. So this is a topper that you're gonna have to kind of go fishing for. This topper did dry down with a slight texture to it, but one coat of top coat was good enough to get a smooth, even finish. Predominantly with these chunky toppers of sorts, you definitely want to soak it off or use the peel off method. Scrubbing it, I could see them putting up a fight. That's all I'm gonna say. Other than that, this was a relatively easy formula to apply. It self-leveled out nicely. The main issue is going to be the glitters and how much you kind of overbrush to get the glitters on, because overbrushing will eat up at the color underneath it. Next up, we're in the splash zone, and this is a rich teal linear holo polishes. If you're familiar with Holo Taco linears, or if you're not, they are pretty darn good. I mean, on the first coat, it almost looks like I got full coverage, but I did go in with a second coat because that just makes sense. I think this one could be a on-the-go polish where you want one coat. All right, there you go. Formulation of this, absolutely phenomenal. It is on the thicker side, however, not thick enough to where I need thinner. It's still very workable. It dries down smooth and it self-levels out nicely. Because this is a linear holo, I highly recommend finishing it off with a glossy top coat. Removal wise, I think I recommend peely base as always and soaking it off. Those holo pigments I feel could stick around longer than needed, and I just don't want to deal with that. So I would use peely or soak it off. Next up we have Acid Trip, and this is a vibrant lime green with scattered holo going throughout, and it's also in the metallic finish, so maybe micro metallic flakes going on here. This one was surprisingly sheer. I guess going from like a very opaque linear to this one was kind of like whiplash moment for me, but I did do 3 coats because even on the second coat I felt like I could see some patchiness, and what I noticed with the third coat is that the color itself deepened, and I kind of like that vibe more, but totally passable on 2 coats if you're more heavy-handed than I am. Something that I noticed is that at extreme angles, that metallic-y flakes of sorts do shift to a blue-green, but again, only at very extreme angles. Formula-wise, despite it being a little bit on the sheer side, it is very easy to work with. It doesn't feel thick, it has a good viscosity, like it didn't feel as thick as the linear, and the self-leveling is very nice. With it drying down smooth, I only needed 1 coat of top coat, and then removal wise, I would highly recommend soaking it off or using peely. And because this polish was on the sheer side, I was curious as to how this performed over my black, gray, and white, and I mean, you can kind of tell they're not meant to be used as a topper of sorts. So next up we have Very Loud, and this is a pinky purple linear polish with what seems to be a shimmer of sorts going throughout. I think it's orangey pinky leaning of sorts. Now this formula felt different. It didn't feel like the first linear holographic we swatched. It almost gave a jelly sense for it, but it acted like a regular linear polish, like it gave that full coverage. I don't know how to describe the sensation I had when I was applying this, but it felt different. And although 2 coats gave me full coverage, the purple looked much lighter than how it appeared on the bottle, so my curiosity got the best of me and I went ahead and did 3 coats. Now, aside from me feeling weird with the formula, it applied very nicely. It self-leveled out great and it went down smooth, so I only needed 1 coat of top coat. Removal wise, just the same as the others, peely or soak it off. Lastly, we have Hyper Punch, and this is a diluted red linear holo with hot pink shimmer flakes going throughout. I say shimmer flakes because the shimmer particle size is much bigger than the previous shimmers we had. And what I noticed with these shimmers is that they do transition into this orangey yellow color at extreme angles. Now, of course, linear polish applied nicely and everything. However, re-reviewing the swatch video, I noticed this goop elastic girl shit happening. Like, I didn't feel any resistance when I was applying this polish. Like, it went down nice. Like, I knew it was thick, but it didn't feel like that goopy thick, you know? Anyways, despite it acting like that, it went down smooth, it self-leveled out nicely, and removal is going to be the same. I feel like this shade is going to look very different on different skin tones. Like for me in the bottle, it did look more reddish, but now applied, it leaned more red pinky, mainly pink honestly, especially with the pink shimmers going throughout. So I'm curious how this is going to look in different skin tones. So moving on to comparisons, for Blue Fizz Taco, I have here crack polishes, jump in 1 coat. I really don't have anything like Blue Fizz Taco, so I'm trying to grasp that Jump In has some form of blue hex in it, and clearly they're different. For Splash Zone, I have here Holo Taco's Keep It Evergreen and Holo Taco's Teal with it. I just kind of wanted to showcase the 2 ranges, I guess. I feel like Splash Zone is kind of showcasing close to Teal with it. Just different formula, of course. And then Keep It Evergreen is much darker, though it does have that blue and green shift going throughout, but not quite. So then I thought of comparing it next to Holo Taco's Teal No Lies and Holo Taco's Green Taffy, just mainly to see where it lies between the blue and the green aspect. So here you go. Then I got curious on how it compared to Holo Taco's Mint Mojito and Holo Taco's Funny Feeling in the Cold State. Funny Feeling is definitely much deeper, so we're gonna ignore that. Mint Mojito kind of looks like a diluted version of Splash Zone, but again, not quite. And then I got curious how it compared to the base of Holo Taco's Wait a Minute, and Wait a Minute is kind of there. It has that like turquoisey vibe going on, right? But like obviously very different formulas. And then Mooncat's River Styx, I thought maybe with like the aqua blue and the green shimmer going throughout, it could, I don't know, hypnotize me. Anyway, not quite. Moving on to Acid Drip, we have here Holo Taco's Sour Note and Holo Taco's Peridon't Bother Me. Now, Holo Taco did describe this as a chartreusey metallic of sorts, but I consider Peridon't more chartreusey and Acid Drip more of that lime green of sorts. Peridon't Bother Me, it's a much darker counterpart compared to Acid Drip, and then Sour Note is giving, I don't know, like green Jolly Rancher, and it's not the vibe. So then I started comparing it next to Mooncat's My Bugs, My Bugs and Mooncat's Plankton. I think My Bugs, My Bugs is closer to Acid Drip, but it's a much lighter shade, of course. And then Plankton's more of this almost bioluminescent type of green, very different and much more saturated. And here I have Mooncat's Serpents of Eden and Mooncat's My Cabbages. Serpents of Eden's shimmer and shifty vibe of it seems kind of closest, but not really. Of course, the base of Serpents of Eden is much darker. And then My Cabbages, I just got curious as to how close the different shade of green or lime green of sorts can go. And Acid Drip's on the lighter side here. So then I thought of comparing it to lighter similar colors, and I have here Mooncat's Banquet of Breadcrumbs and ilnp's Power Surge Unmagnetized. I think Power Surge is a little bit closer. It's just an itty bitty bit darker, and of course it's magnetic, but it also has a pinky shimmer going throughout. Banquet of Breadcrumbs, I had forgotten how sheer this was, but it was my first official thought when I initially swatched Acid Drip, but very different formula composition for sure. Moving on to Very Loud, I have here Holo Tacos Crystal Mommy and Holo Tacos Unicorn number 1. Now, when I had first swatched out Very Loud, my immediate thought was Crystal Mommy in the sense of that pinky purple, but seeing it here, Crystal Mommy is appearing much more purple versus pinky purple. Honestly, I think Unicorn number 1 with the shimmers going on is kind of close-ish. Of course, the base of the purple is much different. And then I got curious on how it paired with Holo Tacos Electric Sweetener and Holo Tacos Magenta Jelly. Magenta Jelly on its own league over here. Very rich, very colorful. Love her. Electric Sweetener, I thought maybe, but the blue shimmer really cools that purple down a lot, so not quite at all. And then I have here Holo Tacos Don't Be Jelly and Cracked Polishes No Reservations Unmagnetized. Now, Don't Be Jelly is of that purple pinky variety, and I wanted to compare the base color to how Very Loud is. And I think it's the pinky shimmer that's going on in Very Loud that really transformed this to be a different type of pinky purple, you know? And then No Reservation, again, has that like blue shimmer going throughout, or blue magnetic pole going throughout. So again, changes the composition here a bit. And then I have here Holo Tacos Hot Wire Pink because, you know, it kept being a little more pink leaning. And Very Loud is more purple presenting here. So yeah, not quite. For Hyper Punch, I have here Holo Tacos Sparkling Spurs and Holo Tacos Pop Rocker. Now, Hyper Punch to me is more pinky than red, and I'm trying to find where in the pinks it kind of lies in. In between these two, you kind of see the red aspect a bit more. So then I thought of comparing it next to Holo Tacos Bless Your Heart and Holo Tacos Jam Session. Jam Session is more of an orangey red, and it's very evident here between a hot pink and then a pinky red of sorts. And then Bless Your Heart, it is pink, but it leans a little bit more magenta-y to me, at least here for sure. And then I thought comparing it next to Holo Tacos Hot Wire Pink and Mooncat's Ego Stroker 9000. Ego Stroker 9000 is more of a richer color, so we're gonna ignore it here. Hot Wire Pink, I thought maybe because of the pink shimmers going throughout and then the red pink base of Hyper Punch was reminding me of Hot Wire Pink, but like you can see how hot the pink is in Hot Wire Pink. Very different from Hyper Punch. So then I started comparing it next to more reds-ish stuff. And I have here Holo Tacos Red Licorice and Mooncat's Reclaim the Flame Unmagnetized. Now Reclaim the Flame to me is more of that true red pinky color. It's richer and more saturated than how Hyper Punch is. And here Hyper Punch is looking diluted as it is. And then Red Licorice, that's Christmas. We're not ready for that yet. And then here I have Mooncat's My Sandy Claus outfit and Holo Tacos Cardinal Sins. My Sandy Claus outfit is also a pinky red, but again, it's more bright, it's more saturated than Hyper Punch. And then Cardinal Sins, it kind of leans more of a darker jewel tone red, so yeah, not quite. So that concludes my swatch comparison portion of this video. Now so initially was very excited because the brief was presented as bright, pop, and like, you know, in your face kind of thing. And when I saw the polishes IRL, I'm just like, oh, these aren't as pop, lock, and dropping as I thought they were going to be, you know? Like, some of them are a little more on the diluted side of things, like that pinky red. And yeah, I guess that when I think of pop art, I think neons, vivids, like it's gonna hurt my retinas when I stare at it kind of thing. So I was kind of expecting neon linears of sorts, but seeing this spread of colors and formulas and stuff, I love linears, so I'm not mad at that whatsoever. I wish color wise we could have gotten something different, maybe an orange, a yellow. I guess the chartreuse green is kind of the closest thing to yellow, but yeah, something that would literally scream vivid and bright and pop of color, you know, that type of stuff. I really wish I had full charge, but unfortunately full charge came at a time where I was in the introductory phases of polish and I didn't like glitter. And so by the time I came around to liking like the greens and the quote unquote pruggly colors, full charge was no more kind of thing. So it is what it is. Maybe I'll find something close to it or whatever. But yeah, it's just, it's like, I'm happy we have linears, but I'm also kind of like sad because we did lose some linears, you know. And piggybacking off like Full Charge, it came in the electro or electric something collection, right? Looking back, I could see how like this could be that collection's cousin of some sort, maybe sibling, if the colors were a little bit different, a little bit more vibrant. And then I saw on Reddit that someone posted it's the creme collection about work, essentially. Like it had work bestie, board meeting, left unread, and stuff like that. Like that color palette was very similar to this color palette. I'm like, yep. I see what you're saying here. But anyways, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Are you planning on getting any of the collection or only some, or are you gonna wait it out until like the Black Friday sale? But luckily these aren't limited edition, so you definitely take your time to think. Don't just instantly add to cart, you know? Anyways, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, and all that jazz, and I'll see you in the next one.